Hello Internet, this is Schizo again. I feel a little more comfortable since I put up the video yesterday. What I was talking about yesterday with my neon blue UFO, with our neon blue UFO flying saucer, was after I drew the picture, like months or maybe like years afterwards, I'm not really sure when, I asked her for the picture again, like where it was. She told me that she threw it away because she thought it was just like nothing, it was just garbage or something. I took that as she threw it away due to paranoia of, she doesn't want to get anybody in our family in trouble for anything. Even just telling us the truth personally, for us to personally know, not for anybody else, not like you screaming it out, for everybody to hear. This is like, I'm doing it for my own personal happiness, so everybody else could know. My mom kind of verified to me that I'm not schizophrenic, so that t-shirt that you saw me wearing yesterday, schizophrenia is cop-out, I made that myself, and I plan to sell that on my own Etsy account. My Etsy account is Schizo like boss. I'm making my own fashion line based on my own whatever I want to wear. Maybe other people might want to wear it too. I might think about it. Doesn't matter. The point is, this isn't what I'm recording for. I'm recording to tell you about my supernatural stories. Sorry, I'm always being interrupted. For example, the dog just scratched the door. Just like a second ago, I tell him to please go away. Just for a second, because I don't feel like, scratching or shaking his head and whatever. So basically, I was talking about my fashion line. My fashion line, you can find it on my direct channel. Just go to my direct channel page and you should find it within my description of my channel. That shit matters. Anyway, you guys are here to hear my story. So I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Basically, when I was around 16 to 18 or something, between 16 to 18, I don't specifically remember the exact date or year, because it was just one of those days where I probably wrote down in the journal and got paranoid one other day and destroyed it, threw it away or something, because that's the way I am. I get paranoid. My mom kind of raised me that way. So basically, when 16 to 18, I was it was one of my depressed states, where I was basically in my house. My half brothers were my best friends, and I didn't regret a moment of it. Basically, we always we would listen to System of a Down, and we would watch cartoons or animes or whatever, and just stay up all night basically, and eating spaghetti. So one day I was boiling water for spaghetti, and I was staring into the pot, and I had this I was just thinking of the saying, watch pot never boils. So I was yes it does. So I was watching the water, just staring at the water, kind of hypnotizing myself into the pot of water that was starting to I can't even think of words when I'm thinking about certain things, but the water basically started to bubble on the bottom slowly, and I'm there you go, it started to boil. Then I basically at the time, I know that I was already smoking cigarettes, so it must have been when I was 17 or 18 or something, because I remember turning around to look at the windowsill. My mom usually leaves the cigarette packs on the windowsill, and when I was 15 or 16, I told her that I smoked, and she was you know what, you smoke cigarettes, I want you to sit down in front of me and smoke a cigarette. She's had to process it or something, because no matter what she was going to do, no matter how much she was going to tell me to stop, I was going to end up going to school, and I was going to be surrounded by it. I was going to end up becoming, one way or another, I was going to be exposed to it. So it's she had no choice. The world was at my disposal now, and so was I. I was here to be disposed by the planet. So Anyway, depressing mind state, I'm sorry. But, so, basically around that time, I was like 17 or 18, I turned around to look, like, to get a cigarette or something. But when I turned around, looking at the direction of the windowsill, a ball of light, like an orb, like the size of a baseball, basically, like, it was this size, but it, like, illuminated a glow that stretched out, like, up to here. So it was actually, like, it looked like it was this size, but it was actually this size, a little smaller. So it's like, I'm trying to, like, really define everything so that you guys can, like, imagine seeing it for yourselves. This thing moves perfectly horizontal from the ground, went straight through the, like, I don't know if there was a screen or not. If there wasn't a screen, that's better for my mentality, my sight, like, whatever. But if there was a screen, it went through the screen, and it went into the kitchen window, just, like, straight. I remember, since I turned around this way, I specifically remember, like, turning around and making, like, a straight, like, 180, like, to continue watching this ball of light that was coming from the kitchen window, and just, like, straight, perfectly horizontal, like, fucking controlled, like, I don't know what, whatever. People call it, like, a ball of lightning. People say it's a lot of things. People say you might have been abducted or something. It's probably, like, people say it could have been, like, a spirit energy. I'll get back to that because my mom actually said it might have been, like, a spirit. Even the Holy Spirit, she said it might have been. So this ball of light, just like this energy orb or something like that, it just moved while I was turning around, just like following, just like staring at it. Like, I didn't want to leave, I didn't want to follow it. I just wanted to stare at it and stand my ground. I wasn't afraid of it. It felt like I was staring at a butterfly, to be honest with you. And it was just moving straight. I explained that too long. It moved straight, and this is like the stove, you know, everything's right here, the window, the table, and then the living room, like, goes this way. So it went straight, and then it went into the living room. And everybody was awake. My brothers, like, I'm not gonna tell you their names, holy shit, I almost did. My two brothers were in the living room. They were playing video games. My mom was awake, my sister was awake, everybody was awake in the house, including my stepfather. Everybody was awake, the lights were on, and the noise was, like, commencing in the house. And I was the only one that saw anything. I just, like, stood there while I just disappeared behind the wall and, like, couldn't see it anymore. So then I just, like, kind of, like, you know, since I turned around to watch it, I kind of just, like, continued to turn around, so I made, like, the whole 360. And I know for a fact that if I saw nothing, I wouldn't have made that 360. That was, like, a moment for me, personal moment of mine, because no one else saw it in the house. I verified later on that night. Basically after that light, I just turned around and I went straight into the pot, like, I stared at the pot, like nothing even happened. And later on, the same day at night, see, that I at least remember that it was around the afternoon that I saw that light. It was around, it had to have been like around 2, 3, or 4 or something. I know at least that. And I must have been around 17 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. So after that same night, I spoke to my mother about it, because she's told me about so many stories of her own. I will get to her own stories one other day, but I asked her about it that same night when everybody else was asleep. Of course, she trusted me, because, you know, I don't see things, like, it's not normal, especially by myself. We all saw a UFO together, that's cool, but now I'm seeing an orb, that's like, okay. She told me that it could have been, a spirit, a lost soul, it could have been an angel, it could have even been the Holy Spirit. She said that she's seen orbs of light when my sister, who passed away in my mother's arms, She would have been about 2 to 3 years older than me. Her name would have been Sarah. Actually, I'm a spit image of her. My mother says it seemed like Sarah was born twice. She almost named me Sarah, and she actually named me Susanna after my grandmother. This is my real name. So she didn't want to tell anybody my real name, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, I lit a cigarette that I lit before. Don't smoke cigarettes; they will kill you. My mother. Okay, when I was. When my sister Sarah was either in my mother's stomach, or either she was in my mother's stomach, either she wasn't. She wasn't she wasn't at all existent, or she was already born. During that time, my mother. She was with my sister, and she was walking past the dining room. Before she walked directly past the dining room, she kind of stopped, because in the dining room she saw above the dining room table about a dozen orbs of light, the same kind that I saw, but about a dozen or more or less. They were just hovering over the table, directly over the table, kind of chaotic pattern. Over the table, and she kind of just stared at it for just a few seconds before she decided it wasn't hurting anyone, so she just kept on walking, kind of ignored it. That's my mom's story of orbs. I didn't think I was gonna talk about that, but I guess I should have expected to talk about this. I am talking about my own orbs, basically. That happened. People like to say some weird shit about the orbs that my mother saw, and the fact that I look like my sister Sarah. They like to say that, oh, my mother was abducted, and maybe they they weird shit. They took I don't know what the hell, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that we both saw similar orbs, which is cool, and we're not the only people that have seen orbs. We're not fucking special, so don't even think that. This is normal shit. It's happening everywhere. Everybody's seeing everything now. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it's just happening. I really intensely started seeing things in 2012, but that is for later, because I have more things to talk about. I have more sightings. I think probably my next sighting would be my alien shadow, which is something that's very, very intense. I'll talk about that, because it's a fucking long story. Okay. Around the time that my mother gave birth to Sarah, my mother gave birth to Sarah, the same day she was in the hospital bed, my sister Sarah started fainting in her arms. She stopped breathing after a point. She stopped moving, and my mother cried. She cried to God, and she told God. She cried and said, I understand if it's not her time yet. If this is not her time to be here, if this isn't her time now, I understand if you need to take her back. I won't be mad at you. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I understand you can take her. I'll forgive you. And she was crying. She looked away from the baby. Sarah, my sister, she noticed. She finally looked up away from my sister after praying. She noticed surrounding her bed were angels. Just angels. Just a stack of angels just facing her around her bed. The angels had wings. They were made of feathers. They were cliche looking angels around my mother when my sister was passing away. When I talk about these things, I tend to shiver, tremble, because, yeah, they're intense, and I'm very emotional as hell. So you can expect my emotions to come forth in front of the camera like I meant to do. So, because I might have PTSD, these things kind of get locked into my mind, like they're not history, they are like present, and they're always happening like at the time, because I see them so vividly in my mind that it's like never gone. So, my memories stay. This isn't like, okay, done. And it's amazing. I guess they had like white, like clothes, like long. Just the way an angel would look. Just angels, like human-looking angels, just surrounding her bed. And she knew that it was Sarah's time to go, so she passed. And like, I really need to hear the story over and over again, because I need to, like, put myself in there. I can't, like, deal with it. It's, like, unbelievable what's happening when. So, it's my story of the first orb that I've ever seen. Tomorrow, I guess this will be, like, daily supernatural vlogs. These are my personal testimonies. I'll call them schizo stories. Schizo stories. People want to call me schizophrenic. I will allow it because I'm used to it. So it's fucking fine. But honestly, if you have seen things, if you're encountering things that you can't encounter alone, don't be afraid to post that shit online, because let me tell you, there are a lot of people that are just like us. So don't ever feel alone, because I'm right here, and for fuck's sake, God is up there and Satan's down there, and let me tell you, I've seen them all. I've seen everything between UFOs, aliens. I've been saying since I was little, I never seen the devil, I never seen God, never seen aliens, never seen ghosts, never seen demons, never seen angels in my life. Let me tell you, I think I have seen basically all of the things that I said that I had never seen, and I need to see to believe. And to this day, after I've seen all of these things, I still have a problem believing it, because there's a lot of there is a fucking great abundance of hidden technology that we don't know about. And yeah, it's like, I've been speaking to older alien abductees who they have very much in common, especially when it comes to MK Ultra. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not the first person that has brought up MK Ultra. There's a lot of shit going down, there's a lot of shit going on, there's a big alien invasion, and everybody should know about it. And I don't care if the government comes and knocks at my door. I don't care if anybody comes and threatens me to shut the fuck up, because I'm not going to shut the fuck up. And you know what? If something happens to me, this just proof to all of you that I'm fucking right. I'm fucking, like, right on, and I'm here exposing the truth. I'm fucking, like, I need to tell someone something before I fucking lose my mind and I scream out to the world while pulling my hair. Fucking alright, I'm not gonna do that, but you know, I'm just like, thank you for watching my videos. You are free to subscribe if you like to hear my testimonies, my stories, my history, my life, I guess. You're free to like, free to dislike. You can comment, you can troll all you want. I enjoy trolls because I can troll back. I enjoy entertainment like that. To me, it's entertaining, and I like to laugh. So troll on, comment on, like on, subscribe on if you want. Up to you. I still don't feel comfortable about exposing my face to all of humanity at once, but I'll get used to it at some point. I see everybody doing it, so it's just time for me to grow some, you know, so to speak, cojones, but, you know, whatever. I guess this video is done, so I'm just gonna, like, stop it here. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate your time. And until the next episode. Toodles.